friends, it's Kayla Moran, and welcome back to the Let's Get Candid podcast. I can't believe we are officially in 2022. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcast the last few months, and I'm so excited to kick things off in the new year and have so many more amazing candid conversations with you guys. There's just so much that I want to do and achieve and accomplish and celebrate and inspire and make an impact and encourage. And, the podcast is my way of being able to do all of that. And I'm so thankful that you guys love it, you're supporting me, and you are following along because I've said this a million times and I'm probably going to keep saying because it just doesn't feel real. But this warms my heart. It makes me so happy. I feel like I know what I'm meant to do with my life. And, 2020 and 2021 were really difficult years for all of us. And in my career trajectory, I've just been really struggling with what I want to do with my life, even though I was in law school and I thought I had this career path and I thought I knew what I wanted to do with my law degree and I had all these ideas and I was working towards them, but I still wasn't happy. And then I met Natalie and I started working at Rella and Rella Social, and we launched in just 2 weeks, so less than 2 weeks, I believe. So definitely go pre-order in the App Store. It's linked in the description of the show. And Natalie's going to come on in the next few weeks to chat all about how we met and all about Rella, so stay tuned for that. But just once I met her and I started working there, I truly found my calling working in the influencer marketing industry, working in the creator economy, and now knowing that I can use my legal degree in the creator economy and continue working towards my goal of helping people and doing two things that I love and able to do that as my job. And it means so much to me that I get to do that. And then having this podcast as a secondary medium, but a primary platform, because I really want to make this a strong platform of mine and be able to share, what I'm up to, but also share stories of the people, primarily women, who inspire me and hope that I can inspire you as well. And if I'm really out of breath right now, it's because I'm in Breckenridge, Colorado, and I haven't had altitude sickness at all because we started taking oxygen beforehand, but talking so much, I'm like really out of breath. But it's okay. It's all worth it because this episode just, it's the start of the new year, and I really want to do this episode for you guys. I don't want to skip again like I did last week. It's the first time I skipped, and I'm really sorry. I got COVID the last 2 weeks when I came home for Christmas, and I'm so thankful that I had no symptoms at all. I was perfectly fine the entire time, but it actually took me, I literally tested positive at the end of my 2-week period, which is really crazy, but I skipped because I was just so exhausted and so busy doing my paper, which I finally finished and submitted. So one step closer to graduation, my expository is officially submitted and it was pass-fail. So thankfully I got a satisfactory and I passed and my professor loved it. And I'm now working on having that paper published. So have some more tweaks and edits and work to do on it to be set for publication. But the actual paper itself for class credit is done, which is so amazing. So yeah, even though I'm in Colorado on a family vacation, I didn't want to skip this week because I know it's the perfect time to do my reflection and set my intentions for the new year and share that with you guys. But I also just missed being on the mic and chatting with you guys here in a different way than I do on Instagram, and that goes a little bit into my intentions for the new year. So I want to jump into the episode, but really fast, I want to do a quick suck and sweet of the week, and really it's the last 2 weeks. So the suck of the week is, of course, that I did end up getting COVID. It had been almost 2 years of this whole entire pandemic. We're in season 3 of the pandemic now, and I'm really grateful that I hadn't gotten it before, and that when I did get it, it was the Omicron variant, and super mild. Literally didn't even know I had it for almost 2 weeks. I just had a cold, and I thought I had a cold the whole time, and I tested negative 3 times, and then after Christmas I tested positive, and I was basically at like day 8 or 9 already at that point. So I felt fine, and even though my entire family ended up getting it, we all felt fine. We just had colds. So I'm very grateful for that, but that was my suck of the last few weeks. And the fact that it just kind of ruined my time being at home. I had a lot more plans to do things, and I really wasn't able to do it. But I have one more week at home before I go back to school for my final semester of law school, so I'm very excited to catch up with people and hang out and just really experience Miami, because I cannot wait to move home and experience my hometown again, and really get started on doing that in the next week. So yeah, that's my suck of the week, and I keep getting so out of breath. I hate it. I'm so sorry. Whew. But anyway, and then my sweet of the week is, of course, that, we got to celebrate the end of 2021 and officially closing that chapter of my life. From 2018 to 2021, I've just been in this massive transition period of my life, and just there's been so many ups and downs. It's truly been a roller coaster, and the person I was in 2018 and 2019 and even 2020 and even the beginning of 2021 is not the person that I am now, and I'm just so, so proud of my growth and the true transformation of my life and myself, and I'm just really, really proud of that. And I think that is just a really great place to end that book. Like, I'm closing that book. Chapter 2021 is over, and that book of, my transition is done, and I can get to close that book, seal it, lock it away. And now I get to usher in a new story, a new book, a new chapter. And just 2022, I just have so much I want to accomplish, and so many goals, and so many intentions, and so many things I want to do in 2022 and beyond. And this is the year that I can truly begin to start putting all of those things in place, because I'm graduating, and my adult life is truly going to begin now. And my parents always would say, like, your life hasn't even started yet, and I would get so angry at them, because it's like, I've been here for 20 something years. Clearly my life has started. I've lived all these experiences. How are you going to minimize them? But now I understand what they mean. Like, the last few years of my life, everything leading up to this point, was one book. And now I get to usher in a new book and start a new story and really, truly begin my life on my own terms. And I think that's really exciting. So that's my sweet of the week. It's just that I'm really excited to start a new story, start a new chapter, and really begin my life. And I get to share all of it with you guys here on the podcast and on Instagram. And I'm just really, really excited to share. And of course, I will share the good moments, but I will also be sharing the nitty-gritty, behind the scenes, down and dirty, not so great moments as well. Not all of them, because we don't always remember to record those moments for good reason. But when I remember to, and I will definitely reflect on them on this podcast, because I think it's so important, and I don't want to just contribute to the highlight reel. I really want to show you guys all of it, the true story of who I am and how I'm doing everything that I'm doing and why I'm doing everything that I'm doing, because it's so, so important to have a reason why you do the things that you do. So with that, I want to jump into the episode, but really fast. If you like this podcast, please leave a rating and review. Please subscribe and follow along, whether you're listening on Apple or Spotify or Google or however else you're listening. And definitely shout us out on Instagram, screenshot that you're listening, tag me at the Let's Get Candid podcast and Kayla Moran, my personal account. Make sure you're following both of those accounts, and leave me a comment on any of my latest posts or in a DM saying what you loved about the podcast in 2021 and what you want to see in 2022 and what you want to see from me and how this podcast can help you. Who do you want me to bring on? Guests, topics. I really want this podcast to be a community, and I want to have the candid conversations that you want to hear, as well as the ones that I want to have. And so I'm going to do a little bit of both, but I definitely want to make sure that I am tailoring the podcast to my audience. So thank you so much for being here with me last few months. I can't believe it's been like 4.5 months already that I've been doing this, and I'm just so, so excited to see where 2022 takes us. And now let's get into the episode. So I kind of briefly mentioned it in the intro, but I want to start with a reflection of 2021 and the lessons I learned in the last year. 2021, what a year. I think we could all say that, and I think we say that every single year, and I'll probably say it next year. But it's just truly, I feel like I came into my own this year. I shed a lot of baggage and toxic friendships and toxic people in my life, people that weren't even friends but were in my orbit, that were truly hurting me. And that's a story for another day. I will definitely share that story one day, but I just haven't really had the opportunity to do so yet because I don't want to come off as negative and, you know, mean or rude or any of that. So I haven't shared it yet, but one day I will. But yeah, 2021 started off just on a really dark and negative note, and I was just a shell of myself. My nerves were shot. I was just so mentally ill because there was just so much going on in my life that was hurting me. I was truly just in such a dark place, and no matter how much I was doing the things that I loved and with the people I wanted to be around, there was a dark cloud hanging over me and my life and just my time in Knoxville, and just truly in general. I was just so unhappy. I was miserable, and I didn't want to go back to Knoxville. Honestly, I really didn't even want to go back to law school at all. And I'm really grateful that I decided to push through and I stayed on course, because I would not be who I am today had I not stayed on course and decided, who cares what they think or whatever, I'm going to do it because I know that I want this and I deserve this. I deserve better, and I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to say something, and I'm going to make the changes for myself that I need to make. And I'm just so grateful, because I would not be the same person I am today had 2021, the beginning of the year, not happened the way that it did, even though it freaking sucked. But I started off the year also in clinic. I was in the community economic development clinic at my school, and I really got to help small businesses and nonprofits, do their thing, create their business entities, the legal tax entities, LLCs, corporations. I helped dissolve a nonprofit. I helped merge a nonprofit. Just there's so many cool things that I got to do. Got to work in trademarks. I was licensed under the United States Patent and Trademark Office as a student. That was really cool. I discovered that's something that I really want to do as part of my career, is work in trademarks and, intellectual property, and work with companies and people starting companies, entrepreneurs. And, it really set me on a path of, this is what I want to do. How can I make this my career? So even though my personal life was a mess, my academic life was doing really well for the first time ever. I had my best semester of law school yet academically, and I went into the summer just, even though I was going back to a job that I didn't love, although I loved the people, some of them, most of them, not everyone, but I did love the people, and I got to be home, and I really got to, build my presence on social media, continue engaging and making connections with people, and just really networking my way across the industry that I want to be in and find a way in, and just meeting all the right people. And, I would not have been able to do that had I not had the experience in clinic that I did, and put so much of my energy into clinic and work because of what was happening in my personal life. And so, 2021 started off a little rocky, but summer was good. I got to go to Miami Swim Week for the first time, which was so much fun. I met so many girls in Miami, content creators, influencers, and start building, these real life friendships now, not just social media friendships. So that was really cool. I got to reconnect with some of my friends from college who happen to actually be in Breckenridge right now at the same time. So we've hung out a few times while we're here, which we don't get to do that when we're all home in Miami. So that's really cool. And we're definitely going to make a point to hang out more when we're home, especially that we're both graduating from law school now. We're going through the same experiences and we chat all the time, but getting to, finish school, take the bar, pass the bar on the first try, and then we are off to the races as adults, figuring it out, and we're figuring it out together. So that just means a lot, that I got to reconnect with people and make new friends, and really just, again, come into my own, really figure out what I want, and I put myself out there, and I got to see my return on investment, pitching myself and networking and putting myself out there. And we hear it all the time. It's all it's all about putting your face out there, putting your name out there, getting the word out there. And I did that, and it paid off. The job I had at Rella Social, again, we're going to share this story in a few weeks, but I got it because I DM'd her a couple times, and I am not afraid to do that. I have so many connections on LinkedIn, and really good relationships with top lawyers and other people in the industry and professionals because I'm not afraid to reach out, send an email, send a LinkedIn message, whatever it is. And I truly got to see the benefit of that this year. I went to a few symposiums, kind of like conferences, panels that I liked the speakers that were speaking. So I sent them an email and I'm now friends with a few of them. And I am working with them in some capacity in the future, or at least I hope to be. So, I really got I put myself out there this year in a way that I've always been extroverted. I've always been super social. I enjoy networking. I enjoy meeting people, but I didn't see it come to fruition the way that I saw it in 2021. So that was incredible. And again, going back to the personal life, the minute that situation was gone from my life, I felt free. I felt lighter. I felt energized, and I wanted to put myself out there. I wanted to make things happen. I wanted to do stuff. I realized I was holding myself back to not hurt somebody else, and the only person I was hurting was myself. And that's one of the lessons that I have for 2021 is just do not hold back because of other people. Like, if you are too much for them, if you are too strong, if you are too this, you are too that, they can do less, but don't let them hold you back because the only person you're going to end up hurting is yourself, and that's not fair to you. No one wants that, and you're literally making yourself smaller to make other people feel comfortable, and you're not even giving yourself a chance, and that's just, it pisses me off, frankly, when I see people not living up to their potential because for whatever reason, and I realized that I was doing that to myself. And once I finally removed that situation from my life and I was free to do whatever the hell I wanted, frankly, and not that I ever had to answer to that person, I should not have, but I was kind of like aware of it because I had to deal with them. I had to live with them, and it was miserable, and I didn't want to cause more problems. So I was discrediting myself and I was diminishing myself. And once I was able to live in my full potential, my life changed, and all these opportunities started coming, all these relationships started happening for me, and just it was like a domino effect of like good. And I realized I was living in a cloud that I had created for myself because I was trying to insulate myself from the negativity. But again, the only person I was hurting was myself. So truly I came into my own and I blossomed in 2021. And that is just something that, I will never take for granted. And that is one of my biggest lessons is just do not dim your own light to make someone else brighter. It's not fair to you. And so now we're going into my 3L year of law school. It's August, September, and it's wild that I'm about to start my 3L year of law school. My third year, I'm almost done. And for the first time since 1L year, I was excited to go to Knoxville. As much as I would have loved to, and I did say, I was like, I have a feeling we're going to go remote very early on. Like, I'm going to get to come back home soon. I'm really glad I didn't actually do that. That didn't happen because I really got to come into my own in law school, and I got to, network with people and meet people and plan events and run organizations and do stuff that hadn't been done before at my school, but also that I had never done before. And, again, my hard work pays off and everything came to fruition. It just all came really seamless to me. And it was a tough semester because there was so much going on, but it was the most rewarding semester because I got to make an impact. I got to make things happen. And something that I've always wanted to do is make an impact. And the fact that I get to leave a legacy at my school just means the absolute world to me. When I came in as a 1L in 2019, the Latin Law Student Association was very small. It had barely begun, but I've truly spearheaded bringing it into what it is now. And I created a Hispanic Heritage Speaker panel that has been going on for 3 years now, and the amount of speakers that we've had and the conversations that we've had, and really seeing that organization slowly but surely grow. It's very, very small, and I'm hoping that, I get to come back as an alumni, and it's this amazing, huge organization. There's so many Latino law students at my school. But, the fact that I've started a event, and I plan to start more events in the spring semester, and I also started a, a coalition with the Black Law Student Association and networking pipelines with the big law firms in town and in Nashville. And, I've done so many great things in this semester. And it all happened because I wasn't afraid to stand in my own way. And I just did it. And I didn't care what anyone thought. And I put myself out there and I allowed the good to come my way. So, you have to be open to opportunities and possibilities. And once you open yourself up to that, once you're not letting other people hold you back or yourself holds yourself back, like, it's amazing all the things that start coming your way when you are open to them. You should have open mind, open heart, and just, hope and manifest and wish for all these opportunities and things to happen, and they will start happening. And of course, you have to do things in the interim to make them happen. You have to put yourself out there. You have to send those emails and cold calls, and things start happening once you put yourself out there and you announce to the world that you're open and looking for opportunities. And it was such an amazing lesson for me to learn. And just, the people around me all have said, when I met you so and so time, or, whenever it was. And I look at who you are now. I'm just so proud of you. And I like you now. And you're happier. And you're just in such a better place. And I'm so grateful that we've become friends and you've helped me with this and that. And just, that means the world to me. I used to always be the girl that was like, you were so intimidating when I met you, and you're actually really nice. And I hated that growing up, but I truly understand now why people said that, and getting to be on this side of it and seeing that positivity and that light shine and knowing that I'm helping people. And that's why I started the podcast. And I just, because I had done the work, and now I get to continue sharing as I do the work and help people do the work themselves and give them the inspiration and the energy to do so and the tools. And that just is unmatched. There's just nothing like it, that feeling. So yeah, that was another lesson I learned in 2021 and just another milestone. And then, on a personal level, I kept having several realizations and growth moments in my personal life with, in regards to my dating history and my intimacy issues and my struggle with love and relationships and all of that. And I learned the biggest lesson, and that is that, confidence comes from trusting yourself. And once you start trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, you unlock such a big part of you and what was holding you back. Because not only was someone holding me back, and I was holding myself back to not hurt them for absolutely zero reason, but I was also holding myself back because I didn't trust myself. And that came with relationships, personal and, friendship and platonic friendships, and also, non-platonic, relationships with men. And I've struggled with intimacy issues for a very long time, and I've shared that on the podcast before in my wellness episode and with my episode with Gabby Valdez, the dating coach, a couple episodes back. But truly, I always blamed outside forces, and I said that I needed to meet the right person for it to be safe for me to experience intimacy, physical intimacy. And I always put it on someone else. That someone else would give me the opportunity, or give me the what's the word that I'm looking for? Just make me comfortable and want to do it. That someone would make me want to do that. Like someone magically would just come into my life and I'd be ready. And I realized that I would never be ready, even if it was the right person, if I myself wasn't ready. I couldn't just sit around and wait for someone to be like, okay, I'm going to hold your hand through this process. Yeah, they have to be willing to hold my hand, but I also have to be willing to take the leap. And I wasn't ready. And I don't know if I am yet, but I now knowing that I need to trust myself and trust that I won't lose control and I won't fall down the rabbit hole and I won't hurt myself anymore, and that, my past issues won't come back and that I've healed from them, and trusting myself to take that step. And, if, it doesn't go the way that I want to, that I'm strong enough to handle it and that I won't spiral, you know, I didn't know that I needed to trust myself. And now that I do, and I'm actively working on it in therapy, and, I had thought I had met the right person that was going to continue helping me unlock everything. Because now that I knew I needed to trust myself, and I was actively working on trusting myself in therapy. And I had had all the conversations, the boundary talks, and I had shared everything with someone that I was seeing. And I really thought this could be the opportunity for me to truly get to experience all that I want to experience in a safe and healthy way, and that I'll be okay, that I am going to be okay. I really thought that I had found a person where I would be safe in doing so, because yes, I still need someone to be safe as I explore and I, try new things and I have those experiences, but I also need to trust myself. And I thought both were there, but then unfortunately it didn't work out the way that I would have liked it to, and it ended very abruptly. And I'm still very confused. I was left with a lot more questions than answers, and I don't really know what happened, but essentially, we are no longer seeing each other, and I'm pretty sure we will never speak again, which is okay. I would never, with the way that it happened, I don't want him in my life. But it's just, I was very shocked at how it happened, because I really, I guess what I was feeling and seeing is not what he was. And that was weird, because I truly thought we were on the same page. And it was so new that there wasn't feelings there yet, but there was a sense of calmness and possibility. And, they say don't fall in love with potential. And I definitely didn't fall in love with his potential, but I definitely saw opportunity and possibility for it to be something great. And I was just taken like off guard a lot when it ended. But I realized that, I do trust myself, and I am ready for when that person who is the right person for me, whether it's the next person's who I end up starting a life with and, potentially marriage and children, or it's not, but at least I know that I'm ready for a real relationship now, and I'm open to it, and I'm in a good place to go there when that time comes. And again, I'm open to the opportunities and possibilities to come, and being able to say that I trust myself. And I'm not holding myself back anymore in intimacy. It just is, that was a big growth moment for me in 2021. And I'm really excited to see where that takes me. And I don't know if I'll have a lot of opportunity for dating early in 2022 with school. And I'm not dating in Knoxville because I don't want to be there. And, with the bar exam, I won't really be free to do stuff and date until August. So I don't know what the beginning of 2022 looks like, but I am open to opportunity and possibility in 2022 and beyond. So, letting yourself trust and, be open to opportunities is another really big lesson that I learned in 2022 and 2021. Trust yourself. And with that comes confidence. And that's another lesson I've learned. And, I feel confident in a way that I've always been confident, but it was a self-defense mechanism. I was, confident because I was protecting myself, and it wasn't true confidence. And under the surface, I was very insecure, which is why I was not a nice person. But now, because I've done the work and I'm actively doing the work and I'm growing and I'm healing and I'm learning to trust myself and love myself, I am so confident, and I'm working towards being happy. And that is just, it means the absolute world to me. So another lesson I learned is, confidence comes from trusting yourself and trusting your instincts and your gut feeling. If you're the type of person that gets vibes or energy from someone when you meet them, and like, something about this person's fishy, listen to that. Don't wait until, something happens, to truly accept that. If you get a weird feeling, it's okay to be like, better not. And I'm going to go this way instead. And, I really learned that this year, that I wasn't afraid to just, not interested. So yeah, trust your instincts. And with that, if your gut feeling, your gut instincts, if your anxiety is like super high and something's bothering you, it's your body's way of telling you something, and you should listen to it. I learned that this year. That's how I started the podcast. My anxiety was so sky high because I kept having sleepless nights thinking of all these conversations I wanted to have and all these ideas for a business venture, and it ended up becoming my podcast, and it ended up becoming Let's Get Candid. And that was my anxiety was telling me, you need to pursue this. You really want this. And you guys know all of the amazing things that have come from starting this platform. So, you know, if your body is, if you have a gut feeling, if you can't sleep at night, if something's bothering you so much, it's your anxiety. Your anxiety is your body's way of telling you like you should do something or you shouldn't do something, or this person, or whatever it is. It's your body's way of telling you something. So that's a really big lesson I learned in 2021, and a really, really important one for everybody is just listen to your body. It's trying to tell you something, whether it's, to slow down and take a break, or you need a vacation, or you should pursue this opportunity or person or whatever, or you shouldn't pursue this person, or this person's not a good friend to you and you should steer clear of them. Your body, your gut instincts, it knows. And you need to listen to it. You need to nourish that side of you and honor that side of you, and really, become friends with your anxiety and become friends with your intuition, and really lean into that because it's something so, so special. And I think, you know, anxiety and depression have its downfalls, absolutely, but there's some really great things that can come out of it. And I'm still not 100% sure what my depression is trying to teach me or tell me, but when my anxiety spikes, there's usually a reason, and 9 times out of 10 it's because I need to slow down and take a break and enjoy the moment, or I need to pursue something, or I shouldn't pursue something or someone. So those are the three ways that my anxiety manifests, and it's usually just really stressed out, insomniac, um, not really being able to eat. My hair starts falling out. I get really anxious, just heartbeat racing, and, tightness in my chest and tight shoulders and neck. And usually that's my body's way of telling me something's up and I need to listen to it. And then I can kind of determine from there which one it is based off of whatever's happening in my life at that moment. So, however your anxiety manifests for you, you really have to listen to your body to see. But that's a really big lesson I learned, is just listening to your body and listening to your gut, because there's a reason why it's trying to tell you something and you should listen to it. And with what I was talking about earlier about putting myself out there and being open to opportunities, another lesson I learned is find what you love and figure out how to make it a career. If I hadn't put myself out there after those symposiums and I hadn't networked my way through it and just made connections with people on social media and, reached out and, gotten to see what was out there and what opportunities were out there, and being open to making opportunities for myself, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I wouldn't be at Rella, and I wouldn't be having the plans that I have for myself that I'll talk about in a little bit. So yeah, if you have this feeling that you're meant to do something and you are passionate about something and you really love it, find a way to make it a career. Find a way to monetize it, and if it's just a hobby that you have on the side, a side hustle you're building as you are working in a corporate job or going to school or whatever it is, when you are financially able and willing to take the leap, do it. If you have found something that you are passionate about and you can find a way to make money off of it, why not make it your career? And, make sure you have enough money saved up that if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and you recover and you move forward and you try something new, or it does work out and then you are doing your own thing and you're an entrepreneur. And, as we go into 2022 and beyond, we are seeing the rise of the creator economy, and it's really rapidly growing. And that's what my paper was on, actually. But, we are going to become a 60% freelance economy in the next 4 or 5 years. It's wild. So this is the time that if you want to do something that's a little unconventional, but you can make money off of it, go for it. And that's another lesson. Those two kind of go hand in hand. If it's okay to do something unconventional, and if you were able to make money off of it, why not make it your career? If you love it, why not make it your career? So that's kind of what I'm doing. I love law. I wouldn't be finishing law school if I didn't love it and I wasn't interested in it. Although law school itself was just not my thing, and that'll be a whole podcast episode as we finish up my law school journey and go into life. I will definitely do an episode all about that in the future. But I get to combine my passion for law and my interest in it and my passion for social media, and that I have a sense of vision and like I have an intuition about the creator economy and where social media is going to take us in the world, and getting to combine the two and make that my career. I'm just really, really excited. And 2021 gave me that, and 2022 is the year that I continue to foster that. And, let's see where it takes me. So again, when I have Natalie on and we talk about Rella, we're going to talk a lot more about that. But just all to say that as I'm finishing up law school and going into my adult life and my career, just know that it's not really traditional what I want to do going into the content creator world and the creator economy as a legal professional, getting to meld the two. But that's where I'm at, and that's what I want to do as my career. So always be a content creator myself on Instagram, TikTok, not so much, but kind of, my podcast, of course. And then I will also, be an entrepreneur and businesswoman and work in the creator economy. And really, I'm really excited to see where that all takes me, because it's rapidly growing and rapidly changing, and there's just always something new and exciting happening. And I'm really excited to just go with the flow and see where it takes me in 2022 and beyond. And another lesson, I said it earlier, if I'm too much, look for less. And that goes with friendships, that goes with relationships, that goes with jobs, that goes with anything. If you are too much for someone or you're too much for something, whether that's a relationship or, for example, a job that you're not happy in an entry-level position, or you are in a job and you've been there for a few years or a few months and you're just not happy and you're not seeing room for mobility and opportunity, why not, leave and start something new? Don't be afraid to jump. Don't jump the gun, but kind of, yeah, jump the gun and, put yourself out there. Network on LinkedIn, network on Instagram, network on Facebook. See what, if you have an idea or you have an intuition or you're interested in learning more about something, do something that will allow you to feed into that, whether it's going back to school and changing careers, changing jobs, moving, leaving a relationship, whatever it is. If you have a feeling that something's not working for you, have this gut feeling, again, intuition, anxiety. If you know that you want something and where you're at isn't going to let you get there, leave. And with relationships, if a friend, is jealous of you or making side comments about you and you just feel like they're holding you back, you're just, they can't handle you, and that's okay. Leave. It's okay to start over. Why would you put yourself in a situation where you're being held back and you're only hurting yourself? Again, all my lessons kind of go together because 2021 was just a really big transformative year for me, and everything just, works together and they go together. And again, everything happens for a reason. But yeah, if you are too much for someone, leave. It's okay, and you should do it. And the world, the universe will reward you for that so fast afterwards. You're gonna be like whiplash, like, whoa, I didn't realize all of this was holding me back, and look at me now. That's another lesson I learned. And my last one is just be more spontaneous. Take more risks. Don't be afraid to jump the gun and try something new. Or put yourself out there on a dating app, on a networking site, in person, introducing yourself to someone if you're out, or if you see an influencer or celebrity that you love, to go up to them and say hi. You never know. Don't be afraid to be spontaneous. And, for example, like, I knew my friends were going to be in Colorado and we had hoped that we would try to meet up, but I had a skiing pass today, but I didn't feel like going. And I had literally posted on my Instagram story that I was just going to be staying in today and I was going to be recording this podcast earlier and I was just going to be relaxing and let's hang out and ask me anything. And then all of a sudden I get a text from my friend like, hey, do you want to go sledding with us? And I was like, why the hell not? And I had the best day ever. So perfect example of being spontaneous. And, whether it's something so little like going to a new mall or a new grocery store or, trying a new coffee shop or sending an email or a DM or a message on a dating app, whatever it is, if you want to do something, go for it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but you never know what if it does, and you don't want to look back later and be like, damn, I wish I would have done something like that. Or, I wish I would have taken that risk or taken that chance because whatever. So yeah, if you have an idea, just go for it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out and you pivot and keep it moving. So those are the lessons I learned in 2021. And I know this is getting super long, so I want to share my words of the year. I've never done this before, but I was listening to Lisa Gilmore's podcast, Unwinding. I will link it down below. I love her. I shout her out all the time on Instagram, and I'm always sharing that I'm listening to her podcast because she's just so relatable and unfiltered and funny and just a queen, and I love her so much. And she will be on the podcast sometime soon, so I'm very, very excited to record with her and just hang out and meet her in person finally because we've been talking forever on Instagram and texting and DM and all that. But I learned this from her, and then I've been seeing other people do it too. But, giving the new year at the beginning of the year a word that you want that year to be about. And I came up with 3 because, of course, I'm an overachiever. But really, just these are the 3 things that I really want to work on this year. Now that I've done the work and I've, blossomed in 2021, this is the year of exploring and coming into my own and having fun. And even though the beginning of 2022 is going to be extremely intense with law school graduation, my final semester, the bar exam, all of that, I know that it's all going to be worth it. And I'm really excited to see where it all takes me. But these are the 3 words that I want 2022 to be about, even through all of that. And then, of course, the second half of the year. So the first one is self-love and my evolution, and they kind of go hand in hand again with my transformation and blossoming. I want to continue evolving and doing the work and healing, and I really want to learn to love myself. I've come such a long way in learning to love myself in the last year, and I really just want to keep doing that, and I really just want to love myself and be proud of myself and celebrate my accomplishments and just look back and be like, damn, I'm really proud of you, and hug myself every night and say I love you. And just really, again, confidence comes from trusting yourself and just putting in that work and healing and coming into my own and just loving that person that I'm becoming, being confident because I love her and I trust her, and they all just go hand in hand. So my first word is self-love, and my second one is presence. I really just want to be more present, and I want to enjoy the moment. And that's my third word, is enjoyment, and just having more fun with, being more spontaneous, having more fun, not being afraid to do things even though I might not like them or I'm scared to try them, within reason, of course. But really just having more fun and being more spontaneous, and then just really slowing down and taking a breath and enjoying the moment. And, with Instagram and instant gratification and everything is just TikTok that's why I don't like TikTok, because it's so fast and short and like it's killing my attention span. And I don't get to enjoy anything because it happens so fast. So I've really got more into podcasts and YouTube because they're longer form content. That's where I tend to thrive in what I create as well. All my reels are super long, and I'm really just enjoying a podcast and having to have long conversations with you guys and candid conversations. And I don't like being on Instagram all the time. I notice that the more I'm on Instagram, the worse it is, because I'm just like trying to get through as much content as possible and watching and seeing everyone's stories and reels and what they're up to. And I just get really anxious and stressed out and overwhelmed. And when I take time off from Instagram or emails or podcasts or even just anything in general, and I just read a book, take a bath, and have no noise, it's really, really nice. And I used to be the type of person that I couldn't sleep without music on. But sometimes nowadays I can find myself falling asleep without it, and I'm just really proud of that evolution. And yeah, my goal is to just be more present and enjoy the little moments and have more like, wow, like it smells really nice in here, or the sky looks really blue, or the ocean looks beautiful, and just like taking in the little moments that we take for granted and just being more present in my reality. In, if I'm at a cool coffee shop, or if I'm at the beach, or if I'm on a really cool trip, or whatever it is, I really just want to be more present with the world around me and the people that I choose to have in my life. I have a curated collection of people in my life now, and I really want to enjoy my friendships and my relationships with them and just be present with them. So, those are my words of the year. Let me know what your words are in the comments on the latest post on the podcast Instagram or in a review of this episode. And now let's talk about my intentions for the new year. So, I've talked a lot about my reflections of 2021 and what I've learned. And now I want to talk about what my intentions are for 2022. And I'm saying intentions. I have not once said the word resolution, because New Year's resolutions, they suck. Let's be honest. They all suck. No one trusts them because there's so much pressure on them. And I was actually listening to Good Morning America today, which I literally never watch because we're more NBC people than ABC people, but it happened to be on TV. And they were talking to a life coach, and she says, I tell my clients to make promises to themselves instead of resolutions. And I really like that. Making a promise to yourself and setting intentions and promises for yourself of what you want to accomplish and achieve and do and enjoy in the new year. So I really like that. Make promises to yourself, not resolutions. And with that, my intentions for the new year are to set weekly intentions instead of like flat out like all of these intentions that I have for the new year. I'm going to set them weekly. So Sunday night, I'm going to make a list of 3 to 5 things that I want to accomplish that week, at the top of my to-do list. So that's the first thing I see. And I got this idea from Kit Keenan. She was on The Bachelor, Matt James's season. She is the daughter of Cynthia Rowley, the fashion designer, and her mom have a podcast called Ageless. I will link it in the show notes as well. And I really liked that she sets weekly intentions instead of, or at least is going to try to, instead of all of these intentions for the new year. So I would like to set weekly intentions, and I don't know how long this will last, but I really hope I get into the rhythm of doing it, because I think that's such a great idea, and it's a much healthier and bite-sized way of setting intentions. So with healthy, I want to eat healthier, eat cleaner, be more conscious of what I'm putting in my body, and really be conscious of moving my body at least 10 to 20 minutes a day, whether it's a walk, yoga, Pilates, whatever it is. I really just want to move my body, and eat clean and healthy and nourish my body. And with that, drinking a lot of water, that's a big goal of mine, is to drink more water. I actually really love the taste of water, and I just forget to do it because it's like one more thing I have to carry, and I'm really picky with the taste of water, and I don't like tap water in most places, so then I have to get bottled water or keep refilling a bottle, and then I lose it. And so I'm going to stop trying to make excuses for why I don't drink enough water, and I really just want to drink more water. That's a really, really big goal and intention of mine in 2022, because I know, one, that it's really good for you, but two, I notice that I feel a lot better and I look a lot better when I drink a lot of water, and it tastes good. Another intention for myself is to be kinder to myself. I am really, really hard on myself. Like, I know we are our worst critic, and nothing has ever been more true. Yesterday, I had a really bad day on the slopes. I hadn't skied in a really long time, and I know how to ski, and I knew what I was doing, and I knew all the right things, but it just wasn't happening, and I just kept getting so frustrated with myself, and that was, of course, blocking me from doing things the way that I wanted to, and I just got really, really frustrated. I was so mean to myself, and I was so mean to the people around me, and we all have our bad days, and that's fine, and no one faults me for it, but I was really mad at myself, and I felt really bad afterwards, and I was just beating myself up over it, and I basically isolated myself from everyone for the rest of the night and didn't talk to anybody, even at dinner. I was just not having it. So yeah, my goal is to be nicer to myself, be kinder to myself, and again, confidence comes from trusting yourself and loving yourself and believing in yourself, and goes hand in hand. I just want to be kinder and softer, because I know that that will attract better energy and more opportunities and abundance to me. And then I can put out that energy for you guys here on the podcast and all my platforms and my schoolwork and my clients in the future and my clients at Rella and my team at Rella and my family and my friends. So overall, I just want to be kinder to myself so I can be kinder to the people and the world around me. And I just, there's no point in being so hard on yourself, because nobody cares but you. Nobody cares. No one's paying attention to you. No one's looking at you. No one's thinking about you but you. So why are we holding ourselves to such a high standard and such an impossible standard? Why are we being so hard on ourselves? Just give ourselves a little grace. So that's one of my big intentions for 2022. And with that, I want to work on my friendships. I really want to nourish and grow the friendships that I'm building, these really amazing friendships. And I want to continue attracting really good friends to my life. And I just want to, really build true, genuine friendships, guys and girls. I've always had friends that are guys. I enjoy my guy friends so much. And I really love having a lot of guy friends. It's such a great perspective shift. And it's really fun, and just, they're funny, and hearing the shit that they talk about is hilarious. But also, I really want to start, having true friendships with girls. And I've done that in the last year. I've really been able to do that. I just want to keep building on that and creating stronger bonds with friendships with my girlfriends, my female friends, and building more of that. So I want to work on my friendships. That is a really big intention for the new year as well. And last two is to travel a lot. I really, really want to travel. We haven't been able to do it as much in the last few years with COVID and everything, but at the end of law school and at the end of taking the bar, we have a month off where we have to wait for our results, and we really can't do anything. We can't work, so people go on what's called a bar trip, where they basically just travel for a month. Of course, this is if you're able to afford and have money saved, or a year. It depends. Circumstances have to permit. But I've been saving up money for this for a very long time, and I'm super, super excited to go on my bar trip. And I'm just, COVID permitting, just fingers crossed. Pray for me that I'm able to do it, but I plan to go to Europe for the entire month of August, and I'm just really, really excited to travel and experience the world. And I miss Europe, and I just miss traveling so much. I'm not a big fan of flights, but once I'm there, I am like a whole nother person. Like travel Kayla is just, Europe Kayla is just the best. So I'm really, really excited. And then there's so many other trips that I want to do, small trips here and there with girlfriends or solo trips, just groups of friends, and 2022 and beyond. I'm really, really excited to travel. That is a big, big goal of mine. And of course, the biggest goal and intention for 2022 is to graduate from law school and take the bar and pass it on the first try. So please, please, please send all your love and wishes and good luck and support and prayers my way. So come July, I will pass the bar on the first try, and I will officially be a lawyer. And I'm really, really excited to finish this chapter of my life and start anew. I cannot wait to see where life takes me, where 2022 takes me. And of course, you will be along for all of it. I don't know how much I will be active on my platforms, from May to July, just because studying is going to be my main priority and my main job. But I'm definitely going to make sure that I have an episode going up every week. I'm going to pre-record a lot to be able to do that for you guys, and might take a break to do the intros and outros, of course, and the editing. And, I'll post on my feed every once in a while. Don't know how active I'll be on stories, but I definitely want to still be active and show you guys the behind the scenes of the process. But really my priority will be passing the bar. So come May, that is going to be my entire life for 2 months, but I know it'll be worth it. And that's just my biggest intention for 2022, is just to finish out my academia career strong. 22 years of schooling. It's all come to this, and I'm about to graduate from law school. I will be Kayla Moran JD in just 5 months, which is absolutely insane. And then in 7 months, I will be Kayla Moran JD Esquire, and I cannot freaking wait. I hope you guys loved this episode. I'm really, really excited. I was having such a bad day yesterday, but today I just had such an amazing day, and I'm actually glad I waited to record this today because I'm in such a great mood, and talking about this just makes me so happy and excited. And I have so many things in the works for you guys that I cannot wait to share. Definitely have some really exciting episodes coming up soon that I've pre-recorded and some that I'm going to be recording in the next few weeks. Stay tuned. Of course, make sure you follow and subscribe to the podcast. Leave a rating and review. Tag me if you're listening. Leave any comments. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at KadenMoran. Check out all the links in the show notes. And let me know what you want to see in 2022 on the podcast. And I cannot wait to bring you guys along for the ride and continue having amazing, candid conversations in 2022. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you guys next week.